Good morning, everyone. Just connect up to my laptop. Well, not my laptop, my husband's laptop. Got a bit of a sad story to tell this morning. Let's wait and see if I'm live. Try going out and back in again. I'll be with, there I am. I shall move myself over a little bit. My screen must be wider than I normally. See if that's better. That's better, that will do. Let me know if you, oh hello Corinda, sorry. Lorraine, hello. At least I know I'm live. I might just tip it a little bit that way so I can get it in correctly. That will do. Just let me know if you can hear me. Normally I have my volume down on my iPad, but I noticed the other day I can have it up and it's not echoing. And I think that's why a lady said that she couldn't hear me on YouTube, because I used to have the volume down on that and there's no need to. Good afternoon, Marianne. Good morning, Andrea. And Karen, good morning. Good morning, Kathy. Carmel, good morning. Carmel, you haven't put whether you're coming to the next August workshop yet. If you want to let me know, I'll be prepping next weekend, so still got a little bit of time. Had a few mishaps this week. Not so good on one of them. A couple of the others are good. I'll let you know in a minute. Good morning, Lorraine. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Nice and clear, thank you. Good afternoon from Arizona, Diane. Hello. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Jenny from the Gold Central Coastal Cleaning. Oh, you must be at work. Not sure. Oh, you've tagged that, but they won't see the tag if you're tagging that, because they're not in the group. You have to be. It's a private group, so if you're tagging someone, they have to be in the group. Good morning, Judy. It's Laura. You've probably auto-corrected and put Lauren. Good morning, Judy. Oh, they're coming in thick and fast. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Jenny. Oh, you didn't do that. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it does stupid things by itself. Sorry, autocorrect. That's all right, Heather. I've been called lots of things. Just saying hello to everyone while I've got the chance. Good morning, Jeannie and Sharon. Oh, so many on this morning. I was so amazed with all the cards that are coming through this week, especially that double Z fold, I think it's called. There's quite a few that have come on this week with so many beautiful creations. So thank you everyone who's done one. Good morning, Annette from Southwest Victoria. I bet it's cold down there. It's not too bad here today, actually. A little bit of a breeze, but not much, and it's nice and warm out in the sun. Okay, I'll tell you my stories first. I'll do this a little bit first and get it out of the road. Excuse me if I don't say hello to anyone new. I do apologise because there's so many coming on. I haven't got time to say hello to everyone. My name's Laura Stranks and I'm admin for this group. That's all I'll mention on that. You know who I am. Just to mention the group that you're in, if you're watching now, you're in this Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. So welcome to my group if you're new. In there, in the Files tab, you'll find all the PDFs. There's no PDF for this one today, and even if I was doing a card that had a PDF, I'll explain all that in a minute. Got problems at the moment. And in the feature tab, I'll pin this live video this morning into there. It'll stay there for 30 days, but I do upload them to YouTube, so you can always go back in there and watch on my YouTube channel, and that's called Creative Gems. Now, this Creative Gems YouTube channel, I have a private group as well called Creative Gems. You can't request to join this group. The only ladies in this group are my my ladies that come to my workshops and all of my Stampin' Up team. All the ladies that are in my team. That's the Creative Gems private group. But my YouTube channel is called Creative Gems. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, but you can't join the private group called Creative Gems. Just to make that clear, I have had a couple of ladies come through just this week actually, and I think they're meaning to join this Facebook group now, which is also private, but it's the one you need to join. So if you've got any friends that want to join, make sure they're joining the right group. I just reject these because they're not eligible to come into my private group. That's that. I'll show you some cards in a minute. Just want to tell you a couple of stories. Now, with my PDFs, I'll show you this ruler in a minute. With my PDFs, my laptop crashed this week, just a couple of days ago. I'm hoping I haven't lost everything. If I have, I'm in a bit of a bother. It's not so bad with my PDFs because my friend Annette's got a couple of them. It's mainly the ones that I've done 10 now that are for my next retreat, all the PDFs. I'm getting a bit emotional here because it's my life. It's off at a technician bloke, computer tech bloke, to be fixed, but he's away at the moment, so he probably won't get to it until Monday. It wouldn't boot up, tried everything, took it to my daughter, she couldn't get it to go. So it's a friend of hers that owns this, he works from his house, and he's fixed my computer for once before. If it's the motherboard, I'm stuffed, excuse my expression. I will have lost everything. I do often back up, but I haven't backed up for a long time, and it's all my PDFs that I'm going to lose. A lot of the other stuff, photos and stuff like that, it's not that important because they're old ones anyway. I have uploaded I have scheduled the next 3 YouTube videos already in the group. Anything that's in the group will stay there. All the PDFs they're fine. They're already in there. It's only new ones that I've created, which is for my new retreat that's coming up in October. They're just in Word documents at the moment, and even if they were PDFs, I will have lost those. I'm just hoping and praying that I have not lost everything. I suppose it's a good way to clean it out, but it's so upsetting. 2 nights now I haven't slept very much because I'm just a little bit concerned. It could be just the screen gone and I might be able to retrieve everything. I'm hoping he can retrieve whatever's in there. And I don't mind if I have to get a new laptop, that's fine. At the moment, I'm looking at my laptop, my husband's laptop. My daughter came last night for dinner and she set it up so I could still look at my laptop. Otherwise, I'd be looking on my phone this morning at all your comments. You're able to get all your fixed and not the motherboard. I'm hoping. I don't understand the background of technology and stuff. I can do a lot of stuff in my group. I know a lot of stuff about computers and stuff, but when it comes to the technical side in the background, I'm lost. So my daughter's trying to reassure me that it'll be fine, Mum, it'll be fine. But anyway, might have to start again, but we'll see. This ruler is another story. I lost it the other day. I have turned my craft room upside down trying to find it. I was in my spare time because I haven't had my laptop here. I decided to do some cleaning. So I was cleaning all my blocks, my acrylic blocks that I use for stamping. I thought I'll clean all those, all the ones in the drawer and all the ones in my little basket on the desk. And I had my bottle of eucalyptus oil and it tipped over. I always remember to put it up on the shelf so I don't tip it. But I had it down on the desk and it tipped, and about 1/4 of the bottle all over this board everywhere. And I have a glass mat here that I work on, and it was under that. So I picked up the glass mat, and what should I find? My ruler. So that's one good thing, because this is my life. I said to my friend Annette, if I don't find this in a week, I'm ordering another one, because I just love, my husband couldn't believe that I was that attached to a ruler. But anyway, that's that story. So all my troubles out of the, I think that's the only troubles I've had. We shall get started with today's project. Just a couple of little stories. My laptop is the main concern. So this morning I'm going to show you my version of a Eclipse card. I've done quite a few samples. This is the first one I did. They're not scenery ones, so some of them you can buy, and it's that Stampin' Up! Don't sell them, a special die that cuts like strips of stuff on a scene. These are done with the letter dies or the number dies. I'll show you what I've got. These are old ones. I'll never sell them. They've got all these big dies in, and you could use any die. I'll show you another card in a minute where I've used a different die. So you've got all these large letters, and I think other companies would sell large letters, or even if they're not this big, they don't have to be this big. You're limited to the size of what you can fit on your card if you use this size one. So they're the letters. This one, and you can't probably see it as well if I tip it sideways. I'm not sure if you can see. I should have done a darker colour, maybe the Blackberry Bliss underneath those letters. And I'll show you the technique in a minute. I'm just showing some samples. So I've got birthday hugs written across that. Just decorated the inside, fairly simple. That's one of them. Then I did this one, which I have stamped some flowers across the front. You need to do your stamping first, or you need to do your paper first, whichever you're going to do. And I've got birthday hugs on that one, so that's a different design again. That's one where you do stamping. This one here's got the patterned paper or designer series paper. This one is a longer one. It's a slimline card. It says happy across here. When you're doing one with a double letter, it's a little bit more involved, and you've got to make sure. I think I got my letters a little bit different spacing there, but they're not too bad. So that says happy across there. If you can see that sideways, you can see down in under there. Underneath these, there's 5 layers of cardstock, so it's a fair bit of cutting to do, and I just stamped inside. But I did this stamp. It's a two-step stamp, so you do your outline and then you do an infill colour, and that's on a slimline card. This one I did yesterday in my spare time. I haven't put these in yet. So this one here is done a little bit different again. I just used my white piece to start with, and I die cut this. I stamped it on the white piece, and then I die cut it out, leaving that image like that. Then I've cut 5 layers of underneath in the same die, with the same die. I've got the dies here for this one. This is the set I used for this one. It's this one here and this one here. So I've die cut them out of there. Then you can colour your image on here. I've done the little flower as well, and just a little happy birthday here. This little leaf I'm going to put up here. I'll put all that together in a minute, and I'm just going to put some embellishments on that. The little background stamp, the little dotty bit, I filled in with just these little dots here, just to fill in the background and make it look a bit finished. So that's that one, and we'll put that together after. So that's a different version. It's probably not really what you call Eclipse. I think the Eclipse word means it's layered here. This is sort of a faux Eclipse card. So that one's there. We'll put that together in a minute. And then that's all of that. I'll put some embellishments on that one. So this morning, I'm going to show you. I'll just have a look and see who's on. So hard drive, a technician should be able to do that. Thank you, Andrea. I'm just so stressed. The blue rule is the one that I bought when I first started following you. Thanks, Marianne. Do hope you get your computer. So do I. You'll be amazed at what it's person's able to save. My daughter is computer whiz, and she saves. I'm just hoping it. My daughter said last night it might be just the screen that's gone. I'm happy to buy a new laptop. I don't care. I need a new laptop. It's not even 5 years old, my laptop, so I don't know why. I was doing work on it one day, and then the next day I got up and went to start it up, and it wouldn't start. So it did it just overnight. But anyway, less about that. just wish this bloke wasn't away. He never goes away, and he's away. I want him to fix it now. And then Marie said last night it might be Wednesday before he gets back. So anyway, there'll be no, I won't be uploading, well, I can upload the YouTube video for this. There's no PDF for this because it's really hard to explain in a PDF what to do. So you can just watch the video. I have scheduled 3 of my YouTube upcoming ones already in there, so they're fine. Anything that's already in there on my YouTube, that's fine. And I've absconded my husband's laptop. He doesn't use it very often, so it's staying in here in my craft room until I get my other one back. My daughter logged me on to Facebook through my login and took his off. He doesn't even go on Facebook except on his when he wants to read a bit of gossip. Okay, so this is what you'll need. Now, these are just standard card bases, whether there's no US or Australian. So if in the US you do your own standard one, just be aware of the spacings. Oh, then you have a mat. So that's your standard one, whatever you do in another country. Then you've got your 1/8 inch smaller all the way around for a mat. And then you've got whatever patterned, or if that's blank, this one's for the inside. This is a Christmas one, and I'm putting Noel on it. I've already cut my background bits, so it doesn't take too long. So it needs to be able to fit these across. If you've got, let's see if we can spell Noel right. Oh, these are back to front, but that's the way I've been cutting them. N-O-E-L might be helpful. That would go that way. So just make sure, if you've got, I have got a couple of sets of smaller letters, so you can do exactly the same. Just be aware that you need to be able to space it across your top layer without it being too big. These are the little bits that were cut out. So you'll just need, and I'm going to show you this. This is, and I find it's the best way to do it, is to space that. Now, if you've got a double letter like this one, you need to do your spacings and then try and estimate where this, because unless you've got 2 sets of dies, you can't do the doubles. So you need to work out your spacings in between. But I did cut, which way did I do it? I just laid them across with the HAP and the Y, and they sort of guesstimated where this P was going to sit in here. So you'll cut out these 4 letters, and then you'll go back and move your other P into here, and hopefully, I use a ruler. That's why I needed my ruler. Not that I could use any ruler, and I did use it to get this nice and straight along the bottom. I'm going to tape these down. I'll just get my piece of my roll of tape. Now you need to put these so that you're happy with the spacings across like so. And if you stamp an image, then you'll just cut out like that. This one here, where you just cut out, you stamp it on your top layer and then cut it out, because as you can see, that's under there. You can do it that way as well. So I've got that nice and spaced. Just make sure your letters are all up the right way, like so. And we're going to tape them down. And I'm just going to use little bits of tape on each one. I think eyeballing is good enough. You don't have to sort of have it perfect. I don't think anyone's going to pick it to bits and say, oh, that's not very straight. So I'm just putting some tape on those to keep them exactly where I want them. You could use any sort of flower image, or it depends on what background you want. And with that first one I did, I realised after the light colour under there, I should have done the darker colour. I mentioned that before. It's the darker you can get it under here, and the more layers. I've got 5 under there, but you could do as many as you like. The more it sits up, the more noticeable it is. So I've got that. I'm just going to do some more down the bottom here, because you don't want it to move before you have it cut. So I've taped that on there, and now I'm just going over to the back because I take my machine off the table, otherwise I'd rock you all to bits. I'm just going to die cut that out. I'll be back in one sec. Just solve my problem with my laptop for me while I'm over here. I'll just put that down there. I'm just running this through my die cut machine. My daughter couldn't even believe last night that I was so stressed about my ruler, losing my ruler. I found something else I found while I was looking for my ruler. I can't remember what it was now. Something you lose and then you find it unexpectedly. So just gently take these off so you don't rip the pattern on your paper. Now, when you've got, there was none on those and none on those. Oh, there was some on this one. I'll just have a look. When you've got a little gap, like in the A and the P's, you need to keep that little piece in there. You don't need, what was the other one? In this one, the O. You don't need, when you cut all your underlayers, you don't need these pieces, but you do need this top layer, and I'll show you how that goes in. It doesn't sit on top of all these. You don't actually need those. It pops back down inside the cutout. Take those off gently. I've had these dies ever since they came out with Stampin' Up, which is a long, long time ago. And I think my friend Annette, she said there was a few people trying to buy them. I think she got a set for quite a reasonable price. She didn't have them, and that was like only just a couple of years ago. But they were selling for something like $150 to buy them. She got hers for a really reasonable price, and the lady said to her something like, is that okay with the price? And it said too right, because I think she only paid not even $50 for them. But they're quite worth quite a bit, so I reckon I could sell mine for $150 or more. They never go out of date, these ones. I've got some smaller ones there as well if you're doing a birthday card and you need some smaller letters if the person's name's quite long, but they don't do the same sort of effect as these. So I've got those cut out like that. I'll put those away. Now the middle of my O, I need that. I've got to keep that piece. And we'll put that, that's going to go on there. We'll put that on there in a minute. Now, I've already stuck all these together, so you didn't have to watch me gluing them all together. I've got 5 layers on each of these. I've got one that I haven't finished, so I can show you that. That's going on there. And all you need is your liquid glue, and put a layer upon layer upon layer. So it's a fair bit of cutting. You have to cut. You can do more than 5. I find 5's good. I tried 3. It wasn't high enough for me. And you just pop that on top and hold it together. And it's easy to line it up because you just push your finger all the way around and line them up. Hi, Robin. Hi, Jeanette from upstate New York. Just decided to have a look at my laptop. You can go back and watch the start if you've just come on. So that's all of those with 5 layers underneath. And where I kept these, but you don't need them. They're the centre of the O's. You don't need the layered piece down underneath of those. And then these will go on top. So we can put another layer of glue on top of that. And just remember, you can stamp across your front layer if you want to, just instead of just using paper. You can use, oops, that's upside down. Some you can tell straight away that they're upside down, and layer it on top of your red or whatever colour you've got. I've chosen the red because it's quite dark, showing it underneath. This is how I learned Eclipse, what an Eclipse technique was. I think now they've got these, the different dyes and stuff. Other companies have different dyes, and they've used a scenery type effect. So that one's going on there. And remember, we've kept this little piece. We need that. In the O's and the little piece in an A. The B has got two little pieces in there. Anything that's fully enclosed, you need to keep, because that's going back on the card. But it doesn't get layered up, so you don't need the... I know the E can be upside down if you don't watch what you're doing. It only goes on one way, but this paper is, I think they've carried it over. It's the, I'll show you the sets in a minute. If my friend is watching, I don't think she's been on yet. Hello, Lynn. Good morning. Catching you for the first time. And Carol from Adelaide. It isn't as hard as... No, it's not hard at all. It's just a lot of cutting. Lots and lots of cutting. Unless you've got a couple of sets. But I know a friend of mine that comes to my classes, she did a Christmas card one year, and I think she put Mary across it, and then a little Christmas down the bottom. And she was doing at that time about 900 Christmas cards, because she's got a business, and she was doing all these cards, and she did ask could she borrow, and I always lend my sets to everybody, and they bring them back. That's fine, but she wanted them for these 900 cards. She wanted the extra R, and I felt terrible, but I did say no, because 900 cuts by however many layers she was doing underneath plus the top layer. It's just that she didn't want to do a double run just to get the second R, and I just declined and said no, sorry. I just thought it would just blunten my letter way more than the others. So she was happy, she understood. She just did some extra winding. Now I'm putting this onto my layer underneath, and I'm going around putting the glue in all of these pieces. You need to glue it right down nice and flat back onto your card base. So I've got some glue around in these little bits so they don't lift up, like so. And don't feel you have to have the letters, or if you've got smaller letters, that's fine. You can, I'll put that other one together in a minute. You can do all sorts of layers. I know someone someone did ask on when I put up a post through the week, could I let them know what dyes they needed? And I told her, and she said, oh, I've got those, so that was good. But you can use lots of different dyes. Now make sure you've got this up the right way, although you could turn it. So I've got just the little 1/8 inch border all the way around on this. Move it up a bit. And make sure you get it in the right spot, like nice and tidy for yourself. I often put this back on top so you can stick things down without getting glue all over your fingers. That's your silicone mat. So we've got that. Now these are just going to pop back in. Make sure they're up the right way, like that. We can stick them as we go. See, that one still didn't get any glue on the end there. Put a little bit more there. And then I'm just putting some glue on the back of that piece. And then pop that back into where it was cut out. It has more effect when you look at it sideways, like so, although this one's standing out a bit better. Push them back down. Now this one here, make sure it's up the right way. We can pop it back in there. And as I mentioned before, you need that little piece that's out of the middle on any of the round ones, anywhere where there's a solid piece in the middle. And it's here. So this one just goes flat in there, not up on all the layers. And make sure it's up the right way when you put it in. Put some glue on the back. And I think that's the right way. Maybe the other way. Yes, that way. And just pop it in there. I'll get my bone folder. And gently rub it down in there. But you do need to fill in that gap in there. It would look funny if it was just the green showing through. So pop that back in. And then the rest of the letters are straight. Next Saturday night, I've got my family over again for dinner. It's my daughter-in-law's birthday, the one that's pregnant at the moment. And I do the Weber with pork, and there's 13 of us for dinner. And we went out for dinner with my son and daughter-in-law last Friday night. And I do the Weber a lot, and I thought, oh, I might do something different. We'll do chicken. Anyway, I thought I'd ask her. I know she does like chicken. And I thought, oh, I'll ask her if she wants chicken for a change. Anyway, we were at this Greek restaurant, and I was about to ask her, and she was eating away, and she had a pork sausage and something else. It was all Greek stuff. And it was all pork. And she said, oh, she just said sort of to herself, not as a hint or anything, she said, oh, my favourite meat is pork. And I thought, oh, I won't ask her, does she like chicken? We'll just do pork. So, and then this layer, I've just got this little Merry Christmas, which I'm going to pop in down here, or you can put it up the top. It doesn't sort of relate to the thing. And I've got these, which I was going to put them somewhere, but oh, that one's going inside. These two little ones I was going to put. We might pop them in there. Can't remember where I was putting them now. They sort of don't go very well on the front. They'll be sideways on the front. I'll just leave them off for now. We'll work that one out later. Might need something smaller on there. Maybe I should have cut the Noel a little bit higher or lower. I think that's what I was going to do, and now I didn't do that, so we can work something else out. We'll decorate it. I've got some other stuff there. I can decorate it later. I can still post in my group just through my husband's laptop, so that's not a problem. I can get into my group. It's just I can't access my files at the moment. That my outside files, not the ones in the group. I can see those. So I'm always organised, so I know I've got 3 ahead PDFs already scheduled to go up at a certain time. Like Monday morning, 9 a.m. is one of my YouTubes. They're all that time, and then I just work out what time it finishes as to when I schedule the PDF to go up. So not worried about them. I did 2 cards yesterday for my next class, my little 2-card class I do on a Wednesday morning. I might put this up the top, and then I might have room down here to put these little bells. I'll just put one in there and one in here, like so, and then I can put some embellishments on the top of that. Yeah, so instead of, because normally I'll make the card and then I just refer to the card and do up the the document in Word, but I ended up the old school and I wrote it all in a notebook. So much different to, so now I've got to fix it after that. But my husband, he's pretty computer illiterate most of the time, and he was saying, well, just go up, because he thinks that all my PDFs will just come up on his laptop if I just log in as him, as me. That's all right if you're in a group like my my Facebook group that I'm in now. Anything that's in there is fine. But I said all my Word documents and that aren't going to be in there. They're not there. They're just in mine, and that's what I've lost. He doesn't understand. So there we go. I won't put any embellishments on that yet. This other blank piece here goes in there, and we've got the double bells to put in that. Normally I would spend a bit more time making a card, but just for time's sake, we'll do it a bit quicker. That there, we'll put those up the top. So that's my that's how I learnt to do an Eclipse card way back when I first started crafting. I think I've done this. Don't do it so much anymore because it takes quite a while to cut all your pieces. So that's my inside, but that's how it do. I'll put some embellishments on that later, just on my bells and stuff. But as you can see, sideways, if I can see it, I'll just wait a second while it takes. You can see sideways that it's showing the words. So the more that you build up at the back, the more it will stand out. So that's that one. And then this one here, I'll just finish off. We'll just put some glue into this, or onto the back of this one. So have a go at any design. You can cut out, you can have this all stamped ahead of time and then do a cutout on it, whatever comes out. I've sponged these with daubers, just sponged some colour on these, and that's popping back in there. And that one. My plan was this weekend to do up some more PDFs for my retreat. There's still a couple that I've got to type up, but I can't do that just yet. And this little leaf I'm just going to put flat, just to fill in that top section there a little bit. Should have my silicone mat underneath. And I've got my greeting up on dimensionals down the bottom. Nice quiet afternoon. No card class this week. Just put that in there. And that's that. And I've done the inside. I just did that small stamp and then stamped that little dotty piece around as well. And that's it. What dies are your Noel from? They're all out of this large stamp set. They're all out of the large letters. There is another bundle, which I've still got as well, has got the large numbers. So if you need numbers, I'll just pop that down for you as well. Where are they? I know, there they are. Numbers of the year. They're both in the green. This is the original, well, not original, but way back, Stampin' Up! Had the green labels on these. Now it's all black and white. So these are the numbers. There's a nice little, and this has got stamps as well, that you can stamp your letters and cut them out. And it's got, oops, don't lose that. It's got little happy birthday down here that you can do birthday across. I'll get these cards back in. So you can do birthday across a long one, I would put happy because I'm not sure that birthday would fit unless you're doing an abnormal size card. But all the dies, they come. You can get other brands. You don't have to get Stampin' Up. Just go onto eBay or Amazon and look for large ladder dies. I'm sure you'll find plenty there, and they don't have to be this big. That's all my cards that I've got. I need some, actually I've got embellishments to put on this one. Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, they are Stampin' Up, but they're not current, Leslie. They're from a long time. I think they have got, I'll just get my catalogue out. There is another set in there now, current, but they're a lot bigger than that. Well, I have a look in here. Dies, not sure what they're called. 107 is one lot. Party alphabet 86. 86. So these are the current ones that are in Stampin' Up. They are, largest die is 2 15/16, which is almost 3 inches. So they're that size. They're really huge, those, from there to there, almost 3 inches by 1 11/16, which is about 1.5 or a bit over 1.5 wide. There's 11/16 there. So they're really, really big. If you've got just a couple of letters on to do, so they're huge. But the other one, 107, wasn't it? Yeah, these ones here, alphabet a la mode dies, they're a lot smaller. The largest is 1 9/16, so it's a bit over 1.5 wide. I've got these ones. 9/16 is there, so it's that high from there to there. And then comparison to those, a little bit smaller than those ones that I've got, but they're a lot thinner. So they would still be easy to use. And they're 15/16, which is about 1 inch wide, just before 1 inch wide. So they're okay. Oh, there's another party alphabets. They're new. Oh, they're the ones, yeah, they're the ones I just showed you on the other page. Here's another one here, 2 7/8. So there's 3 lots in there that you can choose from if you're a Stampin' Up demonstrator. These here look really good because they're a little bit thicker, and they're 2 7/8 high. They're quite large. No, they're the big one. They're big again. Party alphabet, mini alphabet says 2 7/8 by 5 and 2 7/8 wide. They're big ones as well, I think. But yeah, just have a look at the size for yourself if you're interested in any of those. But these ones that I used are old. They're really old. I was just about to put some embellishments on this. I'm going to put these petunia pop ones on. Oh, Catherine's on there. Put these bigger ones on. These are 24/26 in colour flat pearls. They're Stampin' Up as well, and I'll put a couple of little ones up here. Oops. There we go, that just finished that one off. Cards are good. Thank you. Thanks, Tina. Lovely Eclipse thing. Thank you. Thanks, Diane. So that's my interpretation of the eclipse. There isn't the other one, as I said, as a scenery, but you can have a look at those. Have a go and see how you go. Just be patient doing all your cutting. And that's it from me. I'll fill you in through the week. I'll just put up a post on my laptop, see how I go, and if it's all good, that'll be wonderful for me. Thanks again for all of that are on watching this morning, even if I haven't said hello. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you again next Saturday at 9 a.m. Bye for now.